I'm Nathaniel Liu from Townsville Archiving, and I'll be taking a look back at some of our past TWA grant winners and talking about what the grant supported them to achieve for each of their collections. Today I'm joined by Vanessa Winstone from the National Brewery Centre, who were the winners of the TWA grant in 2019. Nice to meet you, Vanessa.
Thank you.
So firstly, could you give a short overview of your organisation and of the collection you applied for funding for?
Yes, happy to. The National Brewery Centre holds the collections that were essentially from the company of Bass & Co., one of the premium beer producers in the world up until till the year 2000, really. And we hold all the historic archives and a variety of collections, some of which are on display in our museum that can be visited by the public. And the idea is to try and increase accessibility to what we have here at the collections.
Yeah, and how did you hear about the grant in the first place?
Well, I'm on the email circulation for TWA, and I suggested to one of the trustees of the National Brewery Heritage Trust, who is our charitable support group, that perhaps we could apply for a small section of our archives. Obviously, our archives are very extensive, so this was just a discrete selection of our outsized images and larger plans, which sort of fitted in with the scale that you instructed us to fit in with, and the hope that we might be able to get a little bit of money to help us digitise those, and those then going onto our online catalogue.
Yeah. So what was the collection like before we digitized it? Like how was it accessed and in what circumstances?
Well, it was a bit hit and miss. Our outsized collection's always been a concern to me because obviously it's not as straightforward. A lot of our smaller images, our volunteers are very happy to scan, and we have the ability to scan them on site. Obviously, the larger ones, we haven't got the access to larger scanners and the funds to purchase one ourselves. So this was an ideal match, really, to get a little bit of money to do this discrete area of our collection that needed to be digitised, to be able to share it with the world, really, which is hopefully what we're going to be doing.
Yeah, what were the next steps for it after the digitisation?
After the digitisation, well, we found a lot of, we did a lot of cataloguing, which hadn't been done before. So that sort of pushed us to do that side of things before it came over to you to be digitised. So that was good. And then we're now resizing some of the images so that they can be visible on the online catalogue and all the records that go with them. So it's expanding our collection that's online quite dramatically. So it's been a brilliant addition to our collection.
Will they be linked to like anything like with the centre as well, or like be printed out or used in the museum?
Oh yes, well once if people have got the ability to see the images, quite often what I deal with is ordering. If people want to order an image, then we can do that for them. We use them in our displays, in our exhibitions, and the company, Molson Coors, the company that owns some of the collection now, they are able to use it for their branding and marketing as well. So it's opened it up to a lot of different fields.
Yeah, I remember when I went to come and collect some of the material, there were so many like old posters and things that they're like really well designed, and
yes,
and it's a shame that like they're just like hidden away, right? So it's good that
exactly
it will be digitized.
Yeah. So now hopefully people can see them and appreciate them in the comfort of their own home.
Was there anything that specifically attracted you to the grant when you saw it?
It was a very simple application, which always attracts me. It was there was very good communications between ourselves and the company. If I had a question, I could just ring up and somebody was sort of ready to answer my questions. very quick to let us know whether we had been successful or not. And the whole process of collecting the items, the delivery back, went very smoothly, considering that was actually pandemic time. And we did have a few sort of hiccups, but everybody kept in touch with me, and it was great, and it was fine, and everything's back safely, all, as it went. So I've got no issues at all with the process. It was very easy, very well done.
Yep, that's really good to hear. Was there any other impacts maybe of how the grant affected the brewery centre?
Well, I think it's opened our eyes to the fact that there are grants that can get quite a lot of work done for not too much money, which is brilliant. I get regular emails from you, so I can keep up to date with what other services you can offer, and I would recommend using your services again if we come up to sorting out any other aspect of our archives, because it was such an easy process, really.
And for myself, I think I would really recommend people to come visit the brewery centre as well.
Oh, brilliant! Yeah, that's what we want.
When I came, it was to pick up the material, but we also came to do an interview one time, I think. And I think I got to talk and film an interview with the chairman. Is it Dr. Harry White?
Harry White,
is that right?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And yeah, he really he shared a lot about the history of the brewery centre. And he also gave us a tour as well, which is really good. So I think it is a really nice place to spend a whole day there and everything.
I think once you come here, you realise how much there is, and for the whole family as well. We're literally imbued in brewing history, and we have the working brewery on site, and we have the Shire horses, so we have all sorts of aspects that appeal to all sorts of age groups. And you don't have to be a beer drinker. I don't drink beer, but I love the place. So, probably a terrible confession, but
that's all right. Yeah, I know there's the horses there, isn't there, as well?
Yes, we've got the Shire horses. Yeah. We've just had a new one come in, a lovely white horse. So yeah.
And I think I saw on the website that there are a lot of events that run throughout the year at the brewery centre. Are you involved in much of them? Or?
We have been involved in 2 or 3 projects this year. One with Burton Station. It's a combined project using our archives, and some of the images that were digitised are going to be used on boards at Burton Station, which is quite an exciting thing. We have another section of our archives the images have been used for it's called Making Trails. They put trails all around the town, and this particular theme is Wharton and Spooner horses, who were fairground horses, fairground makers. It made all the rides, and the carousel horses were the theme for the trails. And so we were able to supply a lot of images for that, and then out of that we're going to get a summer exhibition. Some of the material they've used and some of their maquettes and some of the items that they've used to form their trail are going to be on show here. So I love a project that is a partnership, really, because we can bring in all sorts of different aspects, and they're all somehow they're connected to Burton and brewing. So it's great.
Yeah, you see how the archive material, they can be used in such different ways. It's not just for printing or just for online, but there's many uses for it.
All sorts of things. Yeah. So yeah, it's good.
Is there any final words you'd like to say before we end?
Well, just that I'm hoping that we will be applying for another grant soon for another area of our archives. And yes, it's just a process that was so easy to do, and I just wish other grant givers were as easy to deal with. So thank you.
That's great. Thank you very much. So thank you, Vanessa, for today and for talking to us about the grant. And if anyone watching would like any more info about applying for this year's grant, then there'll be a link on the next screen. So that's all from me. So thank you, Vanessa. And thank you to everyone that watched this video. Thank you. See you next time. Bye-bye.